Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. All right, welcome back to Redacted Media. Bring you the content as long as you mind your business. Before we get started, you guys are joining us here live on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, notification bell,
Smash that bell.
Smash that like. If you guys listen to us on any audio platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, call it, subscribe us there. Leave us a review, man. So we're here to break down yet again another episode of Stephen King's magnum opus, Dark Tower. We're on episode 2 of The Wastelands, which is the
Wizard and Glass.
Right, it is Wizard and Glass. I said the wrong one. W's, two W books. You know, so Wizard and Glass, episode 2. So this is our 4th book, and probably the most out there book as far. Kind of wild.
Yeah,
it gets there. So we left off with Eddie talking down Blaine, literally getting the devil to light himself on fire.
Yeah,
a big moment for him. Love that. And it's been like 3 weeks because life happens. So
I don't remember shit.
yeah. I read and listened to audiobook today and I was like, okay. The fuck do we do here?
Yeah,
like,
right?
How do I podcast again?
What is podcasting?
Podcast. Pobbin. We learn how to pob over here. But we're now to Kansas. They land in Topeka. We find out it's actually Top City, Topeka, Kansas. The one we're familiar with, or at least a version of it, right?
Right.
And I mentioned last episode, I actually do remember this I-70 sign that brought up, because it's actually looks like,
yeah,
excited about that. I was like, oh my God, like it actually looks legit. Big thing about reading in person, not reading in person, but reading a physical book that I never got with audiobooks. I'm happy at least.
I really like how he puts.
Yeah, I even and I read along with the audiobook today to see if one of the parts in here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a brief description. Okay, it was written in black ink. Like, you get none of the feel of actually seeing like the script that they use, or just how, I don't know, there's different little art styles you can do with fonts. Yeah, man, we're back. Ready to break it down. And I actually thought that the end of the book was happening a part that I remember,
Okay,
like in
gotcha.
present day, Roland
Yeah.
happening. I thought it happened before he started telling his story,
Okay.
and I was like, "Where the fuck is this part?" Because I had a whole list of things to talk about because it was so interesting to me, and I'm like, "Oh, well, there goes half of my content I do." So, yeah, stuff. So you want to get started with just kind of the roadmap? I think that's kind of really good at that. Keep on letting you do it.
Yeah. So, start off with them. They were climbing out of Blaine. Now the chapter starts with them kind of taking in the beautiful Kansan wasteland.
Oh yeah.
Um, as they're experiencing, looking around, seeing how things kind of look different, kind of look the same as what they were. Start hearing a weird noise, warbling, almost metallic noise. Jake kind of describes it as audible version of biting into a.
Hmm.
Whew.
I'm not a fan of sour. Just personally, like even sour candies, I'm not big.
I like sour candies,
Were you a Warheads kid?
dude. So, one of my friends and I, they like to try to like out tough each other, right? When we were,
Yeah.
and both were big fans of sour candy, so we wanted to handle the most sour, right? Um, those candies, basically like the breath spray, like liquid candy you'd spray into your mouth.
Yeah.
They had the sour version of
Yeah.
that. One squirt of that was pretty darn sour. He decided, I want to show Jake up. Bottle and just down the entire. His tongue, like, cracked his tongue.
Jesus. How is sour a thing? How do y'all freak shit? I don't understand
know,
it.
By all means, you should be right.
Yeah.
You should not like it, but like.
I like spice. So like I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm fucking immune to this. I love having my mouth's on fire spot, you know? But with sour, like I could do Sour Patch Kids and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's as far sour as I go because they disappear so quick. They go sour to sweet real fucking quick. So I'm like, okay.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I tried like a Warhead as a kid. I'd always spit them out. I'd never even try to finish. They had like the Warhead like Extreme or something too.
Yeah, dude.
Why in the 90s? Why was it so cool to have an X and everything? Why was X the coolest thing in the world?
I don't know, man. Part of me thinks it goes back to the X-Men. They were getting super popular.
Yeah.
Maybe they were popular, or maybe
like X Games. X Games. Why is it the X game? Motocross? But why isn't X? Okay.
Yeah,
Tangent. I need to have you on for just a bullshit podcast because I feel like there's some potential here. We can just talk about nothing.
Absolutely.
Well, let's try to stick to a format with this one, right? I mentioned that I had a note down in here that said, is there a Kansas in your world, Roland? And Roland said, no. Look at the signs. We're far beyond the boundaries of the world I knew. I was far beyond most of the world I knew long before I met you. Met you three. This place and ... So I think that there is, I don't know if they've like drama bells. Coming through podcast. Hold up, technical difficulties, boys. As long as it's not coming through, I don't give a shit. Might be from my headset. Found it. I saw the YouTube video playing. Hey, multiple screens, multiple windows. We're gonna get there, right? But Roland's world, I think that like often think of worlds as like planets,
right?
You know, where I think that Roland's sense is gonna be the world that he knew. It might not just be like undocumented areas, but also that there are now things in his world that just kind of popped up.
Yeah,
like between here and Salina, there's now Alaska.
Yeah,
don't know why, but there it is. You know,
it's...
So I was version of these worlds is. I don't think they went to a different. I don't think they've like teleported into now this world as Kansas. I think they're still, if it was a planet, it's still the one that contains Midway.
Right. we'll kind of get into this later, but I kind of thought maybe they went line.
They said something about it, and I was like, I don't necessarily like that because it means that they're only here for like a pit stop because they have to get back to Roland. That is the home of the Dark Tower, I believe. Also, that made me think of with the merging worlds, maybe the Dark Tower was its own world at one time, and it somehow merged into Roland.
Okay.
Like now it's here.
I like that theory.
Yeah, because the way that the Dark Tower is, it's like they had the ability to teleport in Roland's worlds. They had doors to other worlds. They wouldn't fucking breach this tower that's in the middle of all of it, you know?
Right.
It's like, it's so hard to think of. No reason to think about all this. There's no reason to stress myself. I'm so concerned with like the legit tower in your world with beams held up to it. The only reason it makes sense to me is the world created like Shardik and all the great old ones and the doors and all this like super advanced technology killed itself out. Roland's world started merging, and now they have like found a new history through it. That now the Dark Tower lives. Like, oh, okay, there's rumors of this tower in the middle. Beams are protected. They matched up with our. But I would love a map, and King is doing such a disservice. But Stephen King, I saw you came on the Losers Club podcast, following them since they had like 1,000 followers, and you're somehow here. Love to have you on, buddy.
Oh my God.
A
I was sitting here like the entire time, but I would love it too.
Oh, I would know. I mean, I'd try not to fanboy. I'd just approach him as a super equal, and then I'd log off and fucking squeal or something.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be the case. I'd probably be a like.
It'd be like, I'm gonna fanboy. I'm not gonna fanboy. What do I say? What do I do with this opportunity?
I'd probably like take the opportunity to try to like not talk. First time I bring up is like a big Red Sox.
Oh,
like,
right
keep
on.
him on his fucking toes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like, oh, where do you get your ideas to write? It's the worst. Do you ask a musician where they get their ideas for songs? No, you never.
Oh no.
Do you ask a fucking pianist where he got his ideas? No, they just fucking think of it and they create it.
Oh.
Yeah. The man doesn't do interviews because people are really bad at giving it, and it fucking shit. He's going hot ones. God.
That would be so.
Oh my God. That interviewer is the best.
That is an amazing interview.
Yeah, I forget his name. I'm sorry if.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, anybody loves that guy like I do. But yeah. Tangents. We haven't talked in a while, so.
It's been a minute.
This is my second monster of the day too, and I'm all. All right, yeah. So merging worlds. I wanted to get to that because that's an interesting.
Yeah, later on in this section, he says something about like other worlds kind of wash up on his planet like wreckage on a beach.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the exact quote down later. Says something like wreckage on a beach here, but it's.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. Things just wind up there.
For sure.
But once they start hearing sound, one that was like biting into a lemon, Roland kind of starts to freak. Recognize he hasn't heard it in a long time. He starts like muttering about guys named Jonas and Reynolds.
DePape, yeah. DePape, yeah.
Called him the Big Coffin Hunter.
Yeah.
Starts like having these memories and think about Susan. Profile's down again.
This man is just fainting. You know, I've never thought about it.
He's got the weakest knees.
He just faints. I've never fainted in my life, and this man has fainted 3-4 times in 4 books. He's going through a little bit more traumatic things than me. But what the for your hero to be fainting this often, like it's kind of, once, whatever, twice, okay, 3, come on, bro, 4. Like this is a habit. Like you are a fainter.
Yeah.
And if I recall right now, I think he's gonna faint again in this.
I wouldn't be surprised
If I remember it right. Yeah, I think
I'd be
he
more
faints.
surprised if he didn't.
Well, we're 4 books in, and that's 4 faints. So if you're taking your odds,
Feels like it's been more for sure.
It does, don't it? Yeah. Yeah. I did. Yeah. So he mentions the sounds Hawaiian, doesn't it? That's how Jake and Susanna and Eddie. I remember a guy in Central Park playing. What is this to you? He
He
describes it terribly to me.
talks about it like guys like warbling a metal saw, like thin metal, just kind of like the.
It doesn't sound Hawaiian at all to me.
No, I don't know why they would say that part, but like,
well, it was. I thought it was like times. So okay, more light. You know, we can always do more. But I feel like an author should way to explain it.
right,
I don't fucking get it. I haven't got it since the first. I was like, I can't think of anything that would sound Hawaiian. Saw.
right, like nothing I can think of that like wiggling around a thin piece of ground.
And the closest I can get is like it's not Hawaii,
Oh,
just an island. All right.
maybe the Hawaii's and their wares are different than the Hawaiian.
Maybe my house is falling apart, y'all. Get me to like 10 million subscribers, I could buy a house. You know?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But
Small goals.
yeah. So they caught Roland right before he fell. Good friends, right?
Yeah.
He tried to tell him that was all right, but I want to bring up this thing that was in italics in my book, right? Which is this line from the poem "Child Roland to the Dark Tower Came." For this series, like very loosely, by Robert Browning, and it's the very first line of that poem. Is my first thought was he lied in every word. The hoary cripple, it's I. Why does Jake think of that? What kind of touch is fourth page touching? Like, is he breaking some kind of barrier here? Right? Because we're learning this from what
He's
words?
just the smartest in the world.
This might have been from. Yeah, it's from Roland's perspective. So now Roland is like getting some Deadpool character awareness.
Or in Roland's,
Yeah.
he wrote it as fan fiction.
Ooh.
Like, I won't do this someday. It's absolutely not. That's about as far from cool as I can imagine, dude.
you remember the episode of Futurama? Fry's like writing a comic book, writes this character that's like impossible to be. I don't remember, but everybody tells like your character's like stakes. You know, he's I don't want to root for him. As lazy everything. It's just like character that cries all the time. That would be my character. Just cry. Just something bad happens, cry. You don't win. That'd be my fanfic of Redacted.
Maybe that just made me think of Bob's Burger friend fiction about her and her friends.
Back when
Us?
Bob's Burgers first started, right? Tangents wild. Back when Bob's Burgers caught like an episode, and I was off on it. I swore I would never watch another. I've stayed true to. I would too.
We're big fans of it. We're gonna go see
I was looking at movie times today. I was like, "What, Bob's Burgers?"
Right?
Cool, I guess. Yeah, I need to. Can't this.
that. Yeah, so they're all kind of gathered around him trying to help him up. And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm good. Obviously, you're not, dude. Okay, say so.
Yeah, you just fainted. But yeah, you're fine. Cool.
I mean, for him, that is pretty normal, I guess. So I guess he is.
This happens to him. Get some water on him.
But he tells them that we are close to where Midworld ends.
Okay. Weird, like knowledge.
Right.
I'll take it. I'll suspend.
Right, and you know, I would think that if the Dark Tower was in the whole thing, Endworld would be part away from
Outworld to Midworld to Inworld, like IN or END?
Indy. I'm pretty sure. I read this part.
Okay.
Instead of listening
Okay.
to it.
No, I believe you. Wait, is it Outworld? Is
I guess
fucking
Outworld would
real
also
game.
be the. Ugh.
I want to bring up the fact that the thinnies, right?
Right, yeah, he says the thing the sound's coming from is called a thinny.
Yeah, he introduced that, and I want to bring up that might not first season is Castle Rock on Hulu.
Oh yeah, does
Yeah.
it?
They can't call it a thinny due to it,
Yeah.
but it's a Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård. I played Pennywise.
Yeah.
Plays a
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
So Anna and her partner and her sister.
if we were recording, I could bleep. But
yeah, whatever. They were watching it and often watch it while parts of it. But I did watch some of it with. Looked real.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show the first season.
I was very confused. I was only watching bits and kind of like time travel-y stuff a little bit as well.
Kinda, yeah.
So I didn't pick up a whole lot of what was going on. Scenes I watched were good.
Yeah, it's a strange one. The thinny makes it a little bit like having tinnitus or something.
Yeah.
It's a very high pitch. Kind of just take. It was cool.
And so to get into what the thinnies are, thinnies are like
Rips in time and space.
yeah, where reality is called that. My understanding of them was they're kind of like fucked up portal.
Yeah, I don't know if the theory of this comes later in this book. I think that it's supposed to kind of be like a fog that is, it looks physical. Yeah, and they're going out about it, but his solution to this, I brought up on like episode 1. Much they were dealing with something. Oh no, it's the god drums at Lud.
Yeah,
and it was too loud. Fucking bullets, just they're fine.
Yeah, so they decide to combat this loud and fucked up that it's. But magic bullet because
It came from World.
Nolan's world. And he's like, well, what if the other ones won't work because they're. I don't exactly know why. They won't work because they're also magic. You can still hear.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you should have used this.
Right.
It probably wouldn't have worked for the god drum.
Probably it's magic about. And they start to ask him like, hey, so weird muttering and falling down and talking about. Then what's up with that?
What's up with you, bro?
Yeah, what's up with you, bro?
What's up?
You
good?
He's like, I promise I will tell you about it. We are on top of a corpse right now. Somewhere else.
Yeah. Let's just come on. Let's kick this can down a little bit.
Off of his dead body. So they kind of go to the edge and 25 feet up from the ground. Tall ass train. The rails are kind of like raised up some. Quite a bit of a drop into never-ending hand purse.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls out leather straps.
Have. On the inside than it is on the outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Got a bag of holding.
Yeah, basically. He goes into it at some point. I don't remember. I don't think I just get. I think he calls it a grow bag.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Got a bag of holding.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. You could just there's shit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes the harness that he had made for like carrying Dana around and cuts it up into a rope.
Yeah.
Got just nut leather. I mean, needs to make
Anytime. I don't know where he got all this leather. He skin his donkey?
Oh. Off camera.
Oh, they probably killed some people in the. He made himself a whole like outfit.
Yeah.
He's wearing like where yeah. He couldn't
Also
have.
really sweaty.
He's in Kansas. It's hot. Like they say, it's like out fall, probably August, September. It's still hot in Kansas.
Yeah. So bad.
There's no way I'm walking around
Right.
chafe up.
Jacket. It's
Leather is
but he cuts them up a rope, down one at a time. Anna is last before him. Rubs her stomach. Okay. No, I'm fine. Beggars.
You want to bring up the fact that King messes up and said that.
Yeah,
No, she
yeah, I
wasn't.
caught that. I remember.
You caught that too.
I highlighted that, but I forgot to write it down.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't. She was not standing next to him. Not gonna.
Then he lowers her down, and he climbs down himself, and Eddie and Jake are like, "We're gonna that rope there. That's really useful." Roland's like, "Nah, dude, watch this." Yeah, he does some sick rope tricks and just like snaps it back to him.
Badass.
Got infinite leather, buddy.
Yeah. Got like a Batman. It always comes back. It hooks up there around a drain pipe just fine, but when it comes back, it's there.
So they're walking towards the town, and Susanna's kind of like, "Oh, I wonder if the early that you wonder if this is her world." And Roland's like, "No, probably not." When he says that, my world is like a ship that sank near wreckage to much of what we find is fascinating. I might have read that. Your world is
Okay, that makes a little more sense because it's also really demeaning. And like
right,
asshole. Fucking whole world is a wrecked ship.
right. And Eddie thinks that like, they haven't seen any like signs of this yet. Thinks that this is a whole other world. In this feeling, this isn't some other win from the world of the three. That it's some other. Find out he's right.
Yeah, Eddie is. He's very into.
And find that out because he actually find like a newspaper.
Yeah, they go. It's a train, or it's the train station that Blaine was supposed to go, right?
Right.
But it's not a cradle, just a regular ass train station.
Yeah.
Probably the 80s.
Yeah.
What I'm imagining. They're in Topeka. The Topeka Capital Journal covers Kansas.
And they have a cute little scene where like Jake is like, "Oh, I want to get that paper." Like patting his pockets trying to find a quarter, and like Susanna's digging through her purse trying to find a quarter. Eddie's like, "Shit, I look it, I ain't got one." Nolan's just like, "Bam, gonna shoot open." Like,
What are we doing?
yeah, we're not gonna get in trouble for stealing a newspaper.
I did have a point. That was it. Eddie, that this book it came through and like things changed into a enroll. Okay, when they went through the doors,
Yeah,
did something change like into like a Roland version of it?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that happens in a book called The Talisman.
Yeah.
And whenever this kid teleports, right?
I think that's what happened to the from Eddie. Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah," it has like, I don't know if he was describing our quarter,
Right.
or if he was describing. So like, okay, you're gonna.
Yeah. And take out the paper line. Captain Trips unchecked. Government leaders led country to hospitals, dying millions. Pray for. They're in the stand. They're in the stand.
They're in the stand. They're in Kansas, and
And like They are in the original stand, not the revised one. Like the date is like a few after, like 86 or 87 or something, and they're there a few years after that. Yeah. And I knew there was crossover. Um,
This is the Globetrotter showing up in Scooby. You know, it's like this
yeah,
is so fucking cool. I read these.
yeah,
And I was like, it took me like it actually.
yeah,
I hadn't read The Stand, you know.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, Captain Trip and
yeah, I was just like, it's
it's
like,
starting.
yep. And Jake is paper, and they're getting like a kind of a more detailed breakdown of what's been happening in this world. Basically, it's been ravaged by a super. Everybody's.
They talk about the obituaries being
Yeah,
in
like
the smallest type. That's
yeah, it was jam packed. There was no, there was no, like really no obituaries. Almost just like a list of. It wasn't like left behind by so and so. Dude died. Died.
Can I still enjoy The Stand after COVID?
I'm enjoying it.
Are you still reading some of it?
Yeah, I've just been very slow.
That's fine. I didn't know. I thought you might just put it down for a while because I know life had kind of picked up.
Yeah, so it's. I'm still very early.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I definitely, whenever COVID started, I listened. Glutton for punishment.
Right.
Like okay, if things could go
It's
bad.
thematic. I get it. I
Yeah.
would too.
Yeah, you know, and so I re-listened to that, and then whenever things kind of got serious, I'm like, it's about the time my mental health went like way down in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And I've thought about that book different. I don't know if I could revisit. Too weird.
I might feel different. Yep. Good.
It's a great ending. It's just the toughest part is the first third of the book, like dying. It's like,
Yeah.
and I enjoy the shit out of it whenever I was first reading it, but now it's like, oh, that has happened.
It's different now.
Yeah, whenever it's
Feel Stevie.
and it shouldn't be. That's the fucking terrifying part about it. That it was cool to fantasize about. Oh, he was right. This is how we would. They wouldn't tell us going to work. Domino's need delivery drivers.
They'll need their toilet paper. Must be there to sell it to them.
Fucking what?
Then after Jake reads through all of that and kind of like telling everybody, they all kind of almost collectively lost the beam, find the beam. They're all, oh, we're not gonna make it out of here and find the beam.
Yeah. They bring up talk about how they might have went Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Or back in the day, because Eddie had got pulled in '87.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's '87, '70. Right? Technically, Jake is older than Eddie. I was listening.
Because
Dark Tower Palaver said that he got pulled in '87. That's kind of weird. I've never pictured Eddie as my dad, but now that's stuck in there.
but wasn't he about the same age as Jake when they?
He was a little bit older than
Followed them to the haunted
he
house.
was older, so Eddie's the
A little bit.
okay. That might have been what it was. That Dark Tower Palaver said that. I don't. I think.
Yeah, because I definitely got the picture. Thought of them both as.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, when him and Henry. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Start heading down to find the beam. As they're walking through town, there are tons of bodies left and right, corpses everywhere.
They're not runny though.
No, no, they are dead and dry, and they have been dead for a while.
Which the Stand really like the story. You're probably not even to where.
Probably not.
And the main character like story really picks up on the 4th. That's never like this macro down. I had a character list 200 acted with.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out, And so if they're
I think that paper was printed. Well, it might have been a few. That's kind of they're there years after the.
I thought it was the summer. I thought they got there. Why was I thinking they were there in the? I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so it's a couple years maybe. Okay.
Yeah, like I think the paper was end of like kind of before everything fell apart.
Okay.
And, probably been.
Okay. So the events in the Stand are over by the time rolling.
Kind of what I imagine.
Okay.
By a few years.
In my mind, they were happy. I'm like, September. What the Stand crew is doing? Like,
right?
Not that far away. So yeah, I was like, okay.
Like it's probably been so long that like virus itself is dead. Have like.
I didn't even think about getting sick, unless there's a group of immune people. God. Different one. We ever get to breaking down the Stand, that'd be
a and as they are walking, Eddie sees handicap parking spot. Cars pulled in.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an idea. 1 second. And he busts into one and like opens up the trunk. Lucky enough, the very first one that he opened up got a wheelchair in there. And it's a more modern, lighter one, so than they lost.
Space age technology, baby.
Yeah. That temporary setback was solved before the problem.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't want to be lugging around a wheelchair from.
Yeah.
So it was probably unneeded.
Absolutely. Then he starts kind of looking at some of the cars, and he realizes like, oh yeah, there's a Honda Civic, there's
Dodge Ram,
there's a Ford Thunderbird,
Yeah.
Like that's a Turo Spirit, and like starts seeing some other car brands that he doesn't recognize.
Yeah.
Further drives home like, oh yeah, or this is a win.
Yeah. Did they already point out the Kansas City Monarchs?
That was next.
Yeah, that's next. Yeah.
Billboard for the Kansas City Monarchs. Eddie and Jake are like, no, isn't it the Royals? No, it's. Yep. That's what I was wondering.
They were the Kings in basketball for a bit.
I was like, is from another.
I didn't.
Because
Jack wasn't. Oh, I guess he pushed Jake. Yeah. Maybe they just. Maybe they were.
That could just be us not knowing.
I'm not a big baseball fan.
Yeah. One kind of interesting thing that like brought up in this chapter, Jake is kind of thinking of like, he starts kind of thinking about home and how he'd never see cars again. Also, kind of thinking like, that's not true. I know that there's a lot of worlds, and of the doesn't seem I'm Throland here as like the end of kind of like giving off the vibe that he knows that this
Summer vacation.
Yeah, like this is like he doesn't think like they've permanently they've moved into it. He might not go back to his world.
But he
like,
won't be in Roland's world.
Yeah, he doesn't. He act like he does. I don't know if that's foreshadowing or if that's just mindset a little bit.
What do you think?
But I think would be post Tower, like just kind of opera traveling for stuff.
Type shit.
Right, like there's this character in the Cosmere called Hoyd.
Yeah.
Books take place like apart from each other. They're on different planets, galaxy. But they're all like medieval stuff. Hoyd is somehow like a background character in one series. Everything got some other than like a process called world hopping. Background character. A lot of him is. I like it a lot. So I was like, I just kind of came up with that. It becomes.
Odds that each character gets back to dead or find peace. Okay.
For the rest of them,
Think that.
I don't. No. I just think they don't go back to
their world.
Their
you
world
think that the three new could win power and ever? And
yeah, I think
it's darn gonna go.
Yeah, I think that like whatever.
What if they gave you like Chronicles?
He just becomes like the king.
He's back.
after he's the king,
yeah,
the king of Midworld, and he's like old and ancient. He steps back into our world. No, he's a little boy again.
He's a little boy again with all this knowledge and destroy somebody.
I would die laughing.
Not getting your.
That would be very. They're walking. It kind of turns a corner and falls on his ass. He's something that surprises the hell.
Yep.
Characters catch up and oh hey, that's Charlie the Choo Choo. Here.
There it is.
Yeah. Charlie. Kind of hang park area for kids.
And that's probably the first time that we've now be.
Yeah.
Besides, if you count the state, like I don't think he's. Actually, shit. Eddie did mention the fucking Shining, didn't he? You fucking asshole, King.
Eddie might be marginally aware of Stephen King.
Holy shit. King does that a lot, too. I was reading. It was fucking Pet Sematary. He quotes The Shining. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Like one of his characters says it?
Yeah, the main character in the Pet Sematary says it.
That's hilarious.
God.
It'll be really funny. If like that's just become such a
yeah.
Like I knew that as a phrase before I ever.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah.
So like fucked up that when he wrote it. The time that he wrote Pet Sematary, he forgot that he wrote that.
I don't know how cooked. So that's around his coke. A great line.
I think people say.
Even in that same in Pet Sematary, he references. So like in Pet Sematary, Cujo exists. Like one of the characters crazy in Castle Rock, right? And so if Cujo in Pet Sematary exists, in a world where The Shining exists, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. I did want to mention that they said that something about how the Dark Tower, like how it could fall, right? And Eddie thinks that all of reality was sagging as a structural weakness in the tower grew. Suppose there came a crash, one level falling down into the next. And that they keep on referring to like different planes of reality as level.
Yeah.
That
kind of implies that they're already in the.
right? Kind of a strange like doors are strange in this. Can't think of eyes as in the dark.
Dark Tower is everything.
Yeah, like I imagine that in that road, Jake probably in. Yeah, I like the.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
Towers collapsing.
Yeah, things are getting shut out, things are brought in, and tell you if there's parts people in the stand, their whole world now collided with Midworld after everything they went through with the stand. They had the worst life of all time. They went through a plague that killed 99.9% of people, and now they're in Midworld. Nah, I ain't going through this shit again.
Maybe this is another version of the Stand's world.
Oh,
like multiple versions.
It's the unedited version, right?
Yeah, there we go. This is the 86 version. That's the 90 version. Canon one. And they leave Charlie, and they kind of go through like this. A lot of cages have been out, but there's a lot of.
Hey, brings us up in the stand. How many guy that's in this watching Anna die from this? Super fun. Yeah, like seeing like I think birds are immune, but like the bad fucking
Birds are.
how you gonna get a flu if you're a robot?
Right. Yeah.
COVID was had to change out all the batteries on the birds. Had to give them 5G. There's definitely someone in the world that takes that concept. That
the birds aren't real.
And 5G, like that's all, and with coronavirus, it's all together. I'll play together, bro.
Funny to me is that birds aren't real thing.
Yeah.
That's higher impaired.
Oh yeah.
We're buying into it.
I think that like chain emails and series, like things on Facebook, really start as how dumb these are, and then people buy into it, and now it's like parody of itself. Like, how do you parody a parody? It's fucking
right.
Can't negative a negative. It's not.
Yeah. And as they're walking through chaos, scrolling out like, tell us your story. I will tell. Not right now. Finally get to the turnpike, and start like walking up a ramp, and Eddie kind of thinks back on his youth. Turnpiking.
Yeah.
And the name of this chapter, this section, kind of explains turnpiking is a phrase that he and his brother driving up and down the freeway, high out of their high as hell, on whatever,
Wild and free.
blasting music, top down on the car, out of their minds, having a.
Yeah.
Jake's like, that sounds fun. Eddie's like, it is. Problem.
Yeah, his problem is that it was a good time.
Yeah. On the
So one of them says, "Watch for the walking dude."
yeah, I'm very excited for that. I want to meet the.
All hail the Crimson.
That name. I symbol.
Yeah. Big things that are. But sure.
Right, like world's just
together. There's overlap. Sure.
Bigfoot, there's the Mothman, and there's the walking dude.
Walking, just walk.
Walking there, menacingly.
Is it Christopher Walken?
They just got him.
Watch out for Christopher Walken.
I was just imagining like a worker walking down the freeway, being like, "Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. Watch out for that guy, all right?
That dude's crazy. He will stab you."
So much so they had to go back and go.
Watch out for the walking dude. Walking here, buddy.
Hey, I'm walking here. Matter with you?
As they're walking down the interstate, they can like kind of see Penny even. And Eddie says it kind of looks like water.
Yeah.
Kind of like a mirage, like how you see like reflection on the highway as you're driving, like air shimmer.
Yeah.
Kind of like in trance.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
Yeah, this is actually I think when like the
Try again.
yeah pulls out some like bad bullet, hold on to him just for this purpose.
Them not giving away bullets.
And as they're traveling along, realizes like cars have been inside, like some wrecker. Happy.
Like, oh, there's hope because things of some order has been established.
Yeah, like after everything went to shit, somebody came.
That's a really cool aspect of the stand is how hard travel is. People on the road, traffic stuff.
But also, I was like, I'd take that as a good sign because every other living person you have
Everybody's
been in
sucked.
bad time.
Everybody has sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not been a good time.
Well, I guess they got the people at the crossroads. Not the crossroads.
Yeah, the old people like River Crossing or whatever.
River Crossing, then you got old dude magical. It's like the only set of all right.
Yeah. They camp for the night. And as Roland is like fire, building off in the distance, falls over like Santa and Jim are all just kind of, no,
Don't care.
I don't give a damn. That night they're all sitting fire eating burritos.
Yeah, of course.
Ask and like, hey, are you going to one more day?
More day.
One more day to gather my thoughts. This is hard on you. I don't think that we necessarily. And Roland is like, you don't need to. I say it.
Yeah, he's far gone. Yeah, vent, bro. Talk to your boy.
Yeah.
Boys is gender neutral. I feel like dude and men. I use boys a lot as a like playing video games even with all right boys.
As long as the audience
Understand it. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I wouldn't
Right.
yeah. But no, because I see.
Yeah.
I'm not that. I'm not that.
But like, yeah. So that night, get into funky dream.
Eddie's just tripping balls.
Eddie is having a dream in that vacant lot Jake was in. in the last book, faces all the road passed out.
Yeah.
That same vacant lot with that same rose. Anna and Jake are there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, which Eddie didn't know.
yeah. I was like, okay, so it's
Was Adam Sandler doing anything in the 80s? He was like on SNL early.
yeah. I was like,
We might be later than Eddie's.
yeah, that's kind of what I was getting.
Okay.
Like another poem about the bear. Bear fierce eyes, time.
So, is this the world of the bear? Did not even think about it. Know about the world of the turtle. Like, I think that is Stephen King. A lot of his is the world of the bear. They came out on that side. Came out by the portal of the bear. Kind of,
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, there's some kind of, they're close. Reality. And Eddie's world is doomed. No, he was past it.
That paper came out in '86.
Yeah, you're right. And he was 87. I don't know that kind of. Yeah, maybe they're closer. Yeah.
And they're all three wandering. Oh, you weren't theorizing.
Nah.
Then suddenly, you hear a loud noise behind them, and staring toward Gasher Man. He's
Yep.
back.
Yeah, he's back, Cully.
And he's wearing like a hard hat that says on it.
Yeah, I like that.
They look away for a second, they look back, and then it's Bob from Charlie the Chief.
Yeah.
And he's like, can't stop. Wait, this is happen. Something.
Which color me shut.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
That guy, what? What's going on here? I would never picture him as a bad guy for dropping Jake, bad guy for killing.
Bad dude. Still the main.
Still the main
still the hero.
Yeah, he's the hero, and he wouldn't
Trying to actively
destroy. Like, okay.
Right.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or Eddie wakes. Thinks he wakes. Roland never wants. Jake and they're talking.
Yeah.
And Roland is that's what we are. Then I dreamed consciously bad like that. And Roland writes that off immediately. Yeah. Thought in your mind. Maybe outside of trying to trick. There's a third thought though I had that could serve those possibilities.
Yeah.
Some fucked up prophecy.
Okay, I got something that said mics are cut out.
Oh.
Okay. I guess I'll talk close to mine. You talk close to yours, and we'll just.
Okay.
You can.
Oh yeah, right. Save my back a little bit.
Yeah. So thank you, Jordan Best. You're under Mystery Best. But thanks, man.
Appreciate you. And so Roland does think, or Eddie then like tells Roland like, "I do trust you," and Roland gets really emotional.
Yeah.
Like, he's very shook. Like he didn't think that hearing that would affect him. It does.
Yeah.
Um, and Eddie can see the emotions on his face.
Yeah.
And he feels bad that he kind of wrote Roland off as like a robot.
Yeah, for sure. Bet.
All right,
Those
awesome.
things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sucks that the last hour of our podcast is probably great, but y'all stuck it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so I think this is also like King giving us as the reader something like, okay, other people think this guy was a robot too. That first book, that's what we had to assume.
Oh,
this was
yeah.
not a human,
Like,
you know.
Before the books made the comparison, we were kind of calling him the Terminator as well.
For sure, and I think that's also King like doubling down on like, no, like I'm trying to write a more in-depth character here. Okay,
Right.
I gave you guys somebody that was too powerful for the world that he was in. First thing I did is I took fucking fingers. All right,
Yeah,
so
fucking
now I'm gonna
nerfed
try to
him.
make him a human by making him faint 4 times a book.
Yeah. I've got fainting man disease.
Yeah, but yeah, that was I like that part. Anytime that the audience can be like a substitute for character, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's such a great way exposition if you're not funky with it.
Right.
I saw Top Gun. Some of it was pretty clunky.
And then, so the next morning, Roland is like packing up the camp, and 3 of them are just like checking out this building again.
Yeah.
They are just like entranced by it. They're kind of like realizing that now in the daylight, they're like, oh, this thing's made of glass.
Yeah.
And they like call Roland over again, and he grudgingly comes over to look at it with them. And he like kind of is complaining like, oh, maybe I'd be able to look at it sooner if someone would help me with camp.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of gets pissy that like,
Roland is definitely the one to wake up early Saturday morning, start doing chores, and then complain about nobody helping him.
right.
He's definitely that person.
He's the dad.
That's amazing.
And he doesn't want to think about it too much.
Okay.
He said it is in our way. It is
Yeah.
in front of us. We're gonna have to deal with it eventually.
Yeah.
There's no use like worrying about it now.
Yeah, for sure.
And they all don't necessarily agree with him,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like, okay, sure, whatever, man. And I'm like, kind of get that. It could be helpful to come up with a plan or come up with like ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the same way, he's also right. Like, think about it's not going to really change anything once we get there.
No, just looking and thinking like, oh, there.
Yeah.
Figure it out, So.
And as they're walking later on, Susanna has a moment where she kind of realizes like, Roland's been quieter than usual. Like he's already kind of like a quiet, stoic dude. He's extra that today.
Yeah.
And she realizes like he's not worried about the world they're in. He's not worried about the building up ahead of them or the thinny. He's worried about telling the story.
Yeah.
He's very in his own head about it.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's so he's probably never told anybody else about this, right? Like, that's what we got to assume that.
That's kind of what I'm getting. He's never talked about whatever it is that happened.
Yeah, and he just hasn't had friends since this time of his life. Then.
Yeah.
So he's been Lone Ranger since whatever age we're about to travel back to.
Yep.
That kind of sucks. Sorry for the guy. We peg him at like 40, right?
Yeah.
About
ish.
Yeah, about 40-ish, and then maybe like aged up after the Golgotha and him like
yeah,
passing away, doing whatever for 10.
Yeah, so 40 to 50-ish, and he got his guns at 14, I think.
14 something, yeah, very early.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's real worried about this, and I like that we start kind of with what we already know when he gets to talking, right?
Yeah.
and he talks about when in the court, the take from court, right? Which I love, I love. It's a good story to recant at all
Yeah.
times. I love it, right? But is there anything you want to get to before we talk about like him going to the whorehouse afterwards?
No, so all I was gonna say is, he comes to the next night and he kind of passes out burritos and starts.
They start the story, right?
Yeah, they start the story. He kind of a quick little recap of what he had already told Jake in the first book.
Yep.
And then we jump right into new information.
Yeah. But it's not told in like first person, is it? It's told like Roland is actually telling them a story.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too. It's a very interesting narration.
I don't think that I could deal with it for a whole book.
Yeah.
But for this like first chapter, it's kind of like warm us up into it. Yeah, I enjoyed it because I think that even like Eddie, Roland, and Jake kind of talk a little bit too. Yeah, they discuss a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Susanna kind of talks about
store-bought pussy.
Yeah. In front of a 10-year-old or
whatever. Oh, I
whatever.
fucking love it. Oh man, hilarious.
But yeah, so kind of pick up with the morning after, where he is rolling out of bed.
Yeah.
And someone busts into the room.
Yeah.
Kicks the door down, starts like yelling and screaming and freaking out, and he like jumps over towards his guns. The prostitute like runs over to the corner of the room, and before he can get to his guns, the guy like is stomping on his hand. He looks up and realizes like, "Oh, hi, Dad."
Yeah, it's
Hi.
Pops. Pops is back.
You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. If it's too far, tell me it's too far. What's the worst thing your parents have caught you doing? If you plead the fifth, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Honestly, though, like, I can't think of a bad thing they really caught me doing, because I was really the good kid when I was at their house still.
Yeah.
I was very square, very boring.
Okay. I can respect that. You know?
I'm trying to think of something, but probably just like playing a gory game that they didn't know about. Like,
yeah. Okay. So
like something like super innocent stuff.
Okay. I'll take the chance then. Tell a little story. That was it? I think junior year.
There was stuff that they could have caught me doing.
Oh, for sure.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you just didn't get caught.
But yeah.
So junior year, we started drinking for the first time. I was there. I had a sip of alcohol. That was fun. And I threw a party at my house after like a wrestling tournament one night, right? My dad was gonna stay in Wichita because that's where stepmom lived. My now stepmom, but he'd stay up here with her every other weekend, right? And so we had a party at my house. It was a high school party, like 8 people, mostly dudes. We just got really drunk. It wasn't nothing crazy. But I'm sitting there and we got this like handle of Evan Williams, which is absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's the worst. Like it's a plastic bottle of 175 liter, and it's like $8 at the time.
Yeah, but it's cheap. It's cheap and gets the job done.
And I think at the time we thought that cheap liquor might have got you drunk quicker, just because like no pain, no gain type shit,
Right.
It's like okay, but that's what we're
and it also proves how tough you are.
Exactly. I had to put hair on my chest. I was
Right.
fucking 17. I had to prove myself to my friends that already liked me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I am pouring a shot, saying I like just got there because actually my friends got there before me and like got into my house and like started like drinking and like just doing stuff because it was only gonna be us and whatever. And I finally get home after the wrestling tournament. I had to like shower and do whatever you do after tournaments. And I'm like sitting down to like pour my first shot. My dad walks in through the back. Fuck.
Oh no.
Fuck. It was the most scared I've ever been in my life.
Oh, I can imagine.
I took the shot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, he's here. I mean, whatever, might as well have this. I remember they poured out my Evan Williams. I was so mad. That's money.
Oh man.
I wasn't gonna get it back. In no world am I gonna get this back. But
still, you had to watch them pour it out. Like,
yeah, that was a tough one. That was a real tough one.
Yeah, for sure. Funny dorky fact about me.
Yeah.
I did not drink I was legally able to.
I don't think
which is really weird for the town we grew up in.
Definitely, yeah. Well, there wasn't much fucking else to do.
Right.
So, like, if you didn't drink or you didn't get high, like, what are you doing with your life?
Playing Halo and watching anime.
It's probably a better idea that you know. In reflection, I probably should have been just boring and done things. If I wouldn't have
watching really crappy sci-fi channel horror movies.
Yeah, I think I would always probably drink around 16. It's just that's how my life would have went. I would have had to try.
How most people in our town were, for sure.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I
don't. Other than
you.
like the occasional, my dad being like, "Hey, taste this. Is it weird?"
Yeah.
Be like,
ooh, yucky. Don't like.
Yep.
I like soda better.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's the worst thing. My dad never caught me with a prostitute. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get into a bit of a fight, and Steven is like telling him, "Oh, you're such a fool. You're an idiot. Got in the face of your father."
Yeah. He's like, motherfucker, I had your face in my mind squarely. I was doing this for you.
Yeah, he's like, I was doing it for you, Dad.
Yeah, just notice me.
Defending your honor because you refuse.
And
I know best.
Yeah, he kind of like snaps on him, and I like that from Roland, even at this age.
He's really ashamed of himself too, because he like reaching for his guns even after knowing it was
that.
dead.
Oh, did he reach for his guns after that?
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, that's kind of tough.
Like, felt instant shame about it.
And
like once he did get his guns, he kept his trigger finger away.
Yeah,
because he's like, I don't trust myself right now.
Yeah, and Steven, I like the Steven Shane says, shoot me if you will. Why not? Make this abortion complete. God, I'd welcome it. Damn. That's a fucking bar to drop on your son. Shoot me, make this abortion complete. Like, holy shit.
And
this guy.
Yeah, they are talking for a while, and Steven just like tells him, if I had lost you, I would have lost myself.
Yeah.
And he was trying to trick you into doing something you weren't prepared to do so that you get sent west.
Yep. So he wouldn't have to get his hands dirty. Like, oh, Roland's going to go in here and get his ass beat by court and be sent west and be ashamed for the rest of his life.
Yeah. He like, I've known about him and your mother. And he knows I know. And he was just trying to basically use you and trick you, to get rid of you and to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you go back now, we'll die.
He'll just kill you.
Yeah. Like, so I'm going to have to send you east, send you on a mission. But I won't send you alone. Well, I'll make sure you have some actual guns with you. Yeah, this is like the startup, like where the episode ends. This is where the episode of TV ends. He's like, but got some guns and we've got some.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
son of a bitch. I'm in. Yeah, and then we jump to a new book.
Yeah,
right. We're done with turnpiking.
Yeah, that is where turnpiking ends, and now we are in book is just called Susan.
Just Susan.
Yeah. Yeah, and did the first 3 chapters of Susan.
Yep.
Had a lot of good stuff. They were very quick, but
yeah, I think that just even recapping it, I think we'll kind of fly through this.
Yeah.
So maybe it's here and hanging out, or you're watching this and dealt with all of our technical difficulties, and you're watching this as a VOD, not live. Appreciate you.
We love you.
I think they're gonna go a little bit quick because Susan, real fresh for both of us. We both listened to it today.
Yep.
I don't even think I have to really. I'm gonna try because it sparks a lot of bad at one time.
And I can't refer to this because I forgot to take notes about Susan.
Love that.
Yep.
Okay. So we start with not Susan.
Yeah, we start with some lady, we don't know her name yet.
Yeah.
Some old crone is kind of what it describes her as.
You said you listened to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy's so good.
He does the voice so well.
Oh my god. He's so good. I didn't read. Kind of interested to see just I don't know. It's the way that she talks to her cat. It's so good. Amazing. National treasure.
And it starts off with her. She just had a meeting with the the three names that Roland said earlier.
Yeah.
The grave.
The Jonas DePape and Reynolds.
And what was their title?
Coffin Hunters.
Coffin Hunters. Yeah.
Oh.
Which, that's a cool name. Like,
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a gang of outlaws, the Coffin Hunters.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That sounds like some anime shit, and I'm here for it.
And this is the most like Western we get in this series.
Yeah.
And I love every fucking second of it.
Oh, it's so good.
There's no genre bending. Well, I mean, there's some pink shit going on. That's a little genre bending. But at the base of it, it's just a fucking Western. That's all it is. And there's Western problems and there's Western issues. And I fucking adore it. I want King to write an actual Western. I'd be all right. Just give me a guild. Yeah. It gave us like Eye of the Dragon, which is, there's a little bit of magic in there, but it's very much just a medieval tale.
Yeah.
Or like a fantasy, like Knights and Castles, whatever, right? But this, I'm writing a Western is good. Also, what happened to the age of the Western? Westerns have never been cool, I feel. Like, they're not like Terminator. Terminator was bad. Mission Impossible was badass. Spies.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Westerns weren't cool for us.
No, they did kind of die out in popularity. And even now, like, the few Western movies that are made are, like, very serious, like, drama pieces. Not like the action movies used to be.
Or as problematic as he is, I do enjoy his film. Tarantino.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a lot of his film.
Good filmmaker.
I very much so. He's probably not a great guy, but that's like one guy I'm really trying to separate art from artists. I'm not very good at it.
It's hard.
Can't do it for a lot of them.
I used to try to do that for a lot of people too. An example that comes to mind is like Orson Scott Card.
Mm-hmm.
Ender's Game is amazing. Fantastic. I highly recommend it. I haven't read any of the other stuff. But I remember one time Orson Scott Card was, had been contracted by DC, right? Like a short Superman.
Okay.
I was so stoked because as an amazing author, Superman's my favorite superhero. And it's going to be like sci-fi Superman shit. I love when he's like in space doing stuff with aliens. Like,
oh yeah.
It's gonna be great. And then people online got mad. And at the time I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was a lot younger and I got mad at them for getting mad. Eventually DC, you know, canceled that contract. They didn't end up going through with it. And now I get it. I agree. I wouldn't want to support that.
Yeah.
But at the time I was like, but he's such a good author. It would have been such a great story. Who cares that he's a terrible person? Who cares that he does all this stuff?
Okay. That is such a good point for like hitting on what cancel culture is, why people are mad at it.
Right.
Because you don't understand. It's just ignorance.
Yeah, and I've definitely done a lot of growth since then.
Oh my God. Me talking to 2012 me, I'd hate that kid.
Oh, I'm sure I would too.
You know, like just how ignorant I was at the time of understanding, like just somebody being mad about, I don't even know, somebody that's been like, I personally love Dave Chappelle since the early 2000s. A lot of hot trouble that I don't like his late jokes. I think he's a fucking dead horse. I'm tired of it. It's just ugly. 2012 me would be mad at 2022 me. You know?
Yeah.
For siding with somebody that's not Dave Chappelle. So, okay, like that's just immature. Like you should, but okay, take your own personal feelings out of this and see like, okay, people dislike this. You shouldn't be mad at them for dislike. Who fucking cares if they dislike it? You know, like if it's problematic, weigh it on your own and be like, okay, this is either the hill that I want to listen to him and try to separate art from artist, or reality. Again, tangents. I think that's like I said, we could have a bullshit podcast and probably have a lot of good conversations. Have to stem around a book. Yeah. Just as in case Jordan saw out there, these fucking incels. He says I say it every episode with him, so blame all the world's problems on incels. The fucking worst.
Yeah,
but back to Rhea, because we haven't introduced her. The lady in the shack.
Yeah, so she just had a meeting with the coffin hunters.
Yeah.
They left her some sort of great treasure that she is very excited for.
Yeah.
Um, also, he doesn't really play into like the story too much, but she does have a cat that
What's
I
his
like.
name?
It's something with an M.
Yeah, Margaret
Murphy,
Murphy,
I remember, but it's just
Musty.
Musty.
Yeah, Musty the cat.
It's just this like little mutant cat that has two like boneless noodle legs sticking off out of its sides, and it's kind of an asshole. But like, I'm like, oh, I really want to see this.
I
Yeah.
really like this cat.
Yeah.
Just, it's a mutant cat, whatever. But even his attitude, he's just like,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Like,
Mr. Cat.
Yeah, he's like, and the audiobook narrator just kind of does the it's really good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Cat just like
He's an
I don't
orange
give a
tabby.
shit.
Did they say he's an orange tabby? Because in my mind, he's a fat orange tabby.
I don't remember if they do or not, but that is kind of how I pictured him, so I wouldn't be surprised. If
Okay. Okay.
did.
I didn't remember either, but he's always just been an orange tabby to me. Octopus legs on him.
Yeah.
So did they? We don't really learn what the coffin hunters wanted from Rhea, right? It was just, here's this
No,
thing.
so yeah, we don't know what she gave them in return.
Yeah.
But she has this chest that she opens up, and there's this like glowing pink orb, like a rose-colored orb.
Yeah.
And it's like giving off this light. Holds it up to the moon, and like the light shines through. Be like a younger version of her for a second,
Yeah.
and she starts like looking into the orb, kind of like a crystal ball almost. And she sees some men riding on horses.
Yeah.
For a split second, she thinks it might be like the coffin hunters that she just talked to.
Yep.
But then she realizes, like, oh no, these are different people. And starts to kind of focus on one of them. Thinks maybe it's a gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
But then she realizes, like, he's got a bow on his side and like arrows on his back.
Yeah.
So
No guns, obviously, for a gunslinger. Yeah.
not Roland.
Yeah. Or is it?
And it kind of looking at him, and then like Musty interrupts her,
Yeah.
like paws at her leg or something.
Yeah.
And she like tries to kick him away and like starts yelling at Musty and and runs away. And and then she looks back in the ball, and the image is gone.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So, did we just stumble upon half of this title? Is this the glass view?
Well, the building that they saw in the distance is also
I like
glass.
that.
So
Okay.
one of the two.
Okay. We need to find a wizard because we found two glasses.
Yeah.
One part wizard, 2 parts glass.
So we need to find two wizards. Oh.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, okay, cool. So the chapter 2 we get on, right? And we switch perspective, or did you have more with Rhea?
I was gonna say, before we switch perspective, Rhea does like that. Her second appointment of the night is coming up. She hears her like singing through the woods, kind of.
Careless Love, which I don't know this song.
Me neither. So I was like, I'm sure this is probably a song that is just kind of an older song for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Even when the audio book guy sang it, I couldn't catch the tune. I was like, I don't recognize this at all. Even sometimes on like a very like a lot of music like Humpty Dumpty or like fucking London Bridges, very predictable, like structure, very like like you kind of just know the tune.
Right.
I couldn't even figure out the tune of Careless Love, so I don't know this at all.
Yeah.
This isn't something that I know. I look it up because of 8 goddamn times. But yeah, I need to look it up and see if I actually do.
And so Rhea is like, oh, she doesn't know I'm here. I want to run back to the hut real quick. She runs back to her shack, and like the little floorboard that she had taken that out of before has like shut itself.
Mm-hmm.
She can't get it open, so she fine, whatever. I'll just throw it under the bed for now. Then we hear like a click.
Yeah.
So it's like box or this magic that she has kind of working again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it doesn't want to be put up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we switch to Susan's
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and he's second meeting of the night.
Yep.
He is walking up to Rhea's shack, and she's kind of freaked out by it because
Yeah.
weird situation. It's late at night, uncomfortable,
She
creepy
said,
woods,
she didn't like being out in the time of night because that's when like werewolves come out, right?
something
It's
like
something
that.
like that, yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, you know werewolves in this universe? Like, okay.
And
And
I think it's the full moon right now.
in this universe, werewolves are like, oh, they might exist. You
I
know,
wouldn't be surprised.
like there might actually be werewolves or vampires or fucking
anything that these
swamp monster.
anything that these townspeople believe is out in the woods. I'm like, yep, it sure is. Probably.
You're right. Yeah, let's not go out there.
Yeah.
Let's stay away.
And
Yeah.
so then, Rhea walks out and pretends like, oh, okay, you're here now.
Mhm.
Like she didn't know that she was. And then Susan is like, we kind of get in Susan's head. She's like, kept singing because
Yeah.
playing chess with her already.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what Rhea thinks, is that she kept singing because that she was.
Yeah, she got tricked.
Yep.
So yeah,
So we automatically know that Susan is pretty clever.
pretty trig as the Asher man. Right. That's about the end of chapter 1, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Now we're on chapter 2, honesty.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for this whole chapter.
This chapter was
It's tough.
tough.
So we'll probably just skip through a lot of it, but yeah, we'll start over with the good stuff.
Yeah, so they're talking. She's here to prove her honesty.
Yep.
We don't know what that means quite yet.
Said you need to go closer to your mic.
Oh,
You good?
closer? Am I good now?
Yep.
All right. She is. She's going to have the mayor's son.
Yeah.
Basically, is what we find out.
Yeah.
The mayor is the mayor of the town. His wife hasn't been able to give him an heir, and so Susan is going to bear that heir.
Yeah.
And Rhea kind of points out that, like, yeah, he wants that son, but he also just wants a young lady to hook up with. He wants a young hot lady.
A box that pulls when he.
Yep, that's what she says. Rhea describes Rhea is vulgar.
Oh my god, she's disgusting.
Yeah. She is not kind when talking about Susan's body.
Yeah.
And before they can get started, she does tell Susan to go out back and gather some wood.
Yeah.
Fire. And so Susan, heads out and like starts walking around the building, and kind of like she doesn't see the wood anywhere, and she looks in the window.
Yep.
And she sees into Rhea's bedroom, where she's messing with the orb again, and she sees the pink light flash over her, and she sees Rhea appear younger.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I've been here too long. I need to go with this one before she gets.
Yeah.
And she comes back with like an armful of wood. Rhea like kind of talks shit for her for taking so long.
Mm-hmm.
And she notices her knees were dirty. She's like, oh, I just kneeled to pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great, right?
Yeah. Not the greatest lie, but it worked.
Yeah.
And so Rhea stokes the fire and needs to have Susan strip as she inspects her body.
Yeah.
To make sure that she is still a virgin.
Yeah. Basically, right?
Yeah.
And it gets real uncomfortable for a bit.
Very uncomfortable.
So yeah.
So fast forward.
Yep.
And basically Susan says, "Okay, you've done enough. You don't want to make the mayor unhappy."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Okay, yeah, whatever. I've proved your honesty. Go get dressed."
Yep.
And she pulls out like some paper and writes the word honesty on it, but I think she spells it wrong. She spells it funky.
ONNEST.
Yeah.
Honest.
Yep. And then she draws like a little pitchfork symbol. That's like her signature.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Show this to your aunt, but don't let her have the paper. And then show it to the mayor, and you can have it burn it, whatever."
Yeah.
And okay, is that it? Can I go? And Rhea says some more gross stuff, but then yeah, lets her go.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything at Rhea's cabin.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking about just like the kissing moon and midsummer and all this, like this time of the year, right? It's going to be harvest here soon. It's about probably what would that be, like late July, early August?
Yeah.
Early August for us, just about, yeah.
And they do call it the kissing moon. That's like the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhea thinks that like, you know, it's they call it that because people see like a figure of two people kissing in it, kind of.
Yeah.
But she thinks of it more as the devil's moon, the demon's moon.
Yeah, there's only one face in this moon, and that's the face of the demon.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, so she's like, no, it is dark and occult. It's not hissy and smoochy, you stupid people.
Yeah. And that's the last we deal with Rhea for at least a little bit.
For now, for today's reading.
Yeah, she's a tough one, right?
Yep.
So we're going on chapter 3, which is a meeting on the road.
I like this one a lot. I liked it a lot more than the last two.
I actually did not read this.
Oh yeah?
Forgot. I think I only got to chapter 2 on my audiobook, and I just mistimed. Like, oh yeah, that's in chapter 3. Then I got here like, fuck. Okay. So, bro,
All right.
I remember it. You know, I'll remember some of it, but I'll try to catch up as we go.
So, Susan is walking down the road, kind of like reflecting on what just happened at Rhea's cabin. And she kind of goes into more detail about why she had to do this. Her father passed away a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he was kind of in debt to the mayor a bit. And so they're in danger of losing their land. But her aunt and the mayor worked out a deal where if she have the mayor's child, bear him a son, that he will give her all the land back and even award her with more horses and pay her as well.
Yeah.
And so like this make me a whore? Like, well, you know, I think by definition no. But even if it does, like, I'm doing this for my family and I'm doing it for the right reason, so I don't care.
And we never get mention of her having a mom, right?
No.
Like, it's just her aunt,
Yeah.
her dad, and her dad died with her aunt now. Yeah.
Yeah, it never does mention her mom.
I don't remember if it does ever, but
Maybe her mom just died when she was a lot younger.
Okay.
I don't know. She's deep in thought. So deep in thought that she does not hear somebody on horseback approach her.
Yeah.
Until too far away for her to hide.
Yeah.
And she gets kind of scared because this guy, like looking at him, he kind of looks like a bandit. Kind of looks like maybe a highwayman or something. Yeah. He doesn't have anything on him that would make noise, so she's like, he's trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
And so immediately scared, like, oh, what do I do now?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up with you?
And he just hops off his horse. He's like, you know, hello, ma'am. How can I help you? Are you?
Howdy, ma'am. You know, give him one of those. Yeah.
He's being very nice and gentlemanly.
Yeah.
And she realizes like, oh, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little boy.
Yeah. I'll do a cute cowboy man.
Oh God.
And you know, he offers her a ride on the horse back to town.
Yeah.
He knows that they're still like 2 miles out and late at night. You're probably tired. You look tired. So let me help you out.
Yeah. And I like that she takes issue with being called Sai.
Yeah. He says thank you, Sai, and it's basically like saying ma'am, like calling her an old lady.
Don't say that. It makes me feel old.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm not Mr. Hawkins. That's my dad.
I am Mr. Redacted, so refer to me as fucking such.
Yeah. That's...
I hardly ever go by Mr. Oh, fuck. I do at work, but...
Yeah?
Goddamn, I am Mr. Redacted then, aren't I?
Yeah, and I suppose if somebody called me Mr. Hawkins, I would.
With sports, I've gone by my last name. That's why
Yeah.
I go by Larmer and I don't use my because of sports. You know, we had like fucking 5 Codys in our
Yeah.
McCall Shire, top of my head.
Yeah.
And so I just went by Larmer in sports, and fucking once I moved to Dark City in 7th grade, like I never looked back. That's who I've been ever since. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the. I've never been able to say like, "Oh, Mr. Larmer." No, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professionally now, man.
I know, right? Crazy.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
And she refuses at first.
yeah.
Like, no, that wouldn't be proper. I don't know you. I'm in a dress. I'm not in pants. I'm not gonna be riding the saddle well.
Yeah.
Because she knows horses.
Yeah.
She find out that like her father, basically managed the mayor's horses. That was his job, and so she's grown up with horses. She knows how to ride a horse, how to manage one.
We also got this guy's name we didn't mention.
Will something.
Will Dearborn.
Will Dearborn.
Solid name.
Yeah.
Solid name. Seems like a pretty cool guy too.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself. I might write a 7-book series about him. Yeah. So Will ends up offering a blanket to like cover herself, right? As
Yep.
she got up, and he looks away like the gentleman he is.
Which like it's kind of funny because we're in her head through all of this.
Yeah.
She's still like the main character of this section, and like she looks at him like she expects him to take a peek and like expects him to be a pervy little boy,
Mm-hmm.
and then is kind of annoyed when he's not.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, why aren't you looking at me?
Yeah, they noticed me a little bit, but don't be too creepy about it.
Right. And I think it's because like she's used to. She says like, all the boys in her village have. He says at one point like, ever since I grew boobs, they've been weird around me.
Yeah.
And so.
As you do.
Right. Yeah.
As it happens to most women in the world, I bet. It just there's a day and then there's a month. It's like, oh, now everybody's weird around me, and it's not my fault, and life sucks.
Yeah. And so that happens, and like she kind of expects it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
But she tells them like, okay, I'm proper now, and they start walking back towards town.
Yeah.
And for a while, it is quiet. He's like, I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna bug you if that's not what you want. And but she does eventually start a conversation. Asks like why he's here. And they're at some point they're walking past like some oil rigs.
Yeah.
They just have like an oil field out near the town.
Yeah.
Where there are just a lot of pumps still pumping. They don't really know how to extract the oil or how to refine it, so pumping oil up and then it's dropping back down into the well.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are inoperable, but there's 19.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that until just now.
Mm.
There's that number again. 19 of them are still working.
Mm.
He's very interested in it. Because he says that they are here to basically count stuff.
Yeah.
The fight against the good man Farson is taking a turn for the worse, and so they are needing to reach out farther to other communities to gather resources.
Yeah.
And eventually she finds out that he's basically just been sent on a time-wasting punishment.
Yeah.
Because he got in trouble.
Yeah, he's out here to just check things against checks and balances. See how many cows you got, how much hay you got. Just count all this shit.
Yeah, and he basically got sent here as a punishment because he and his friends got really drunk and raced some horses, broke the horse's leg, had to like put the horse down.
That'd be pretty cool to race some horses while drunk. Like go drag
I'm
racing
sure
with horses.
But their fathers did
Fast
not
and
agree.
Furious Gilead Drift. Come on, bro.
Oh my god. I would watch a Western Fast and Furious movie.
That'd be so good.
That would be amazing.
And I hate the Fast and Furious franchise. I hate it with a fucking passion. I would watch a Western Fast and Furious.
Yeah, we
I'm in. I'm in.
Let's fund this.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. I
Backslash.
know Fast 10 and Fast 10 Part 2 are going to be like the last movies.
And they're
but,
supposed to
like,
go to space, so why don't they just enter a fucking thingy up there and go back in time?
Yeah, like let's make a prequel about Vin Diesel's great grandpa back in the cowboy times.
Can he go by Clint Eastwood like in Back to the Future?
and the plot is he is a he's a horse racer.
Yeah.
And he has to race somebody in like the first automobile. Like he's racing against
a
early
Model
automobiles.
T.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
It writes itself.
I live my life one gallop at a time.
Yeehaw.
Give you your last haul, cowboy.
Oh my god. I need this movie in my life.
I need to get in front of a word processor, start writing.
Yeah. $1 million script right there.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be. Jesus.
So, she, as they're getting closer to town, she's like, well, to reward you and thank you for, being so kind to me, let me give you some information. You guys aren't the only new people in town. The mayor has hired some bodyguards, and she gives them the names.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's the same 3 names as the coffin hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coffin hunters are the mayor's new bodyguards.
Yeah, just hired muscle for something. Don't know why, but they're here in town.
And Will is like, so not like sheriff's deputies or something like that. No, they are hired by the mayor. They only answer to the mayor. They are his thugs for some reason.
Yeah.
So watch out for them.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't meet.
Yeah, this didn't happen.
Yeah. She's like, are you officially here yet? He's like, no, we are actually camping outside of town right now. Like, okay, yeah, we didn't meet. So when you see me in town, you're seeing me for the first time.
Yeah.
And he gets it. He's like, yeah, okay. She asks him where he's from, and says that he is from New Canaan.
Yeah.
About 40 wheels west of Gilead.
Yeah.
She kind of gets excited about this because, oh, you're a fancy big city man.
Yeah, you know about Gilead. You've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really excited about that, not knowing.
And Will says that one of the members of his party is in fact from Gilead. The other two, or he and the other one, are from New Canaan.
Yeah.
I can't remember the names, but
what is their names? I don't remember at all.
We'll remember next time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll figure it out.
At one point there's a noise that like scares the two of them, and Will reaches for his hip like he's reaching for a gun, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And so she catches that, and so she's like, has a bow and arrows and a lance. Like, actually a gunslinger?
Yeah, that she can kind of feel that like maybe something's up with him. Okay.
Yeah. Gonna vibe
this kid. Which we have to take as a hint to this man's real fucking identity, right?
Yeah, like, this is Roland.
This is Roland.
He's giving a fake name, but this is
this is Roland, disguised as Will Daybron.
Yeah, I was like, either this is Roland or like the guy in their party from Gilead is Roland.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that'd have been a good one too.
But they are both hormonal teenagers and they like each other a lot. So like, okay, this is Roland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Susan. They've mentioned it. He's mentioned to Susan. Yeah. So he's the right age. He has gunslinger tendencies. This is.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And she, so got the hat. They mentioned the hat.
Ooh, Hat Watch. Hat Watch 2022.
It blows off the head, but like caught on a little string or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did catch that just because we've kind of been making fun of it.
I don't picture one with a hat. Every time I think of it, I don't. But sure. It's here and it's canon.
Yep. Little boy Roland has that.
Yeah. They also mentioned a thinny down in Eyebolt
Yeah.
Canyon. So
this is his first time hearing a thinny.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, he heard of them before. He knows what they are conceptually.
Mm-hmm.
He's never encountered one.
Yeah. And there's one just kind of outside town, like drunk uncle that comes by every Christmas and just gets shit faced and lays in the corner. Yeah, that's Uncle Steve, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, she talks about how in a canon canyon outside of town, um, and they've kind of like barricaded it off, so the animals wander in there as much. It's not perfect because one does every once in a while, and it just
Yeah.
it's gone forever.
Yeah.
But they kind of ward off the sound by smoking it out. They get like a bunch of like wet wood and catch it on fire around the thinny and kind of dampens the while.
Interesting.
Which, like I wonder if that does or if it's just is this just like something that's become like a
Like a folktale or like
yeah,
a
like folktale
superstition or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Does making the air heavier make it quieter?
I have
Like,
no
can
idea.
smoke block I have no fucking clue.
And since air in reality or what
Yeah.
how it works.
I have no idea. No idea.
But she tells him that, oh yeah, that's been here since before my lifetime.
For a dog's age.
Yeah, but it's been here as long as I've been alive, but not longer than my father.
Yeah.
Or my dad. It's came around sometime when he was alive. There was a quake, and then it showed up. People aren't sure if the earthquake caused it or if it caused the earthquake, but we're pretty sure they're related. And she's like, it is growing. It does grow a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, it won't grow outside of the canyon outside of our lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
But now we have this weird thing outside town that might be important, or just maybe it reminds Roland of this town, which is Jesus. What's the name of it?
Hambury.
Hambury. Good job. Yeah, Hambury. So is that the end of chapter 3?
So
else?
that's all the important information. She gets off the horse. They part ways.
Yeah.
Chapter ends. Yep.
Yep. So we've met Susan, we met Ria, we met this new character Will.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. And we're back in time. Like we've launched into the meat of this book.
Adventure Baby Roland.
Yeah. Like a baby Looney Tunes version of Roland. Like as a diaper and
Love that.
be amazing, right?
Oh, that would be great.
Oh God. Yeah, so this is kind of a shit show of a technical issues, I believe. I think that I gotta work on these mics, but you're here somehow through like 2.5 hours where the fuck this been. Thank you. Real MVP.
We appreciate you.
Good job. Proud of you. And next time, let's see where we get into. What page? Idiot. So I can't. Let me do the math. Do the maths. So chapter 4, yeah, right there. Look at that. 209.
Yeah.
So let's see where we want to get to. I don't want to get to 451.
209 to 451.
I don't want to do that.
That's
so there's Welcome to Town at 235. We need more than 35 pages. How about Shimi? Ooh, I do like Shimi. We gotta get the Shimi episode. We gotta Shimi done. This is a really good part of the book. We'll probably just finish this, however long it is, because it's really freaking good. Let's see. Yep. Okay, we're gonna go 209 to 311. 102 pages. On the drop, chapter 7.
7. So we'll read chapters 4, 5, and 6.
Yes, sir.
Sounds
4,
good
5,
to me.
and 6. So you're somehow like keeping along with us. Maybe somebody out there in the world is.
Yeah.
We get views for this that I don't know where they come from. So I just kind of like, you guys are out there. Thanks for stopping by.
We appreciate you.
But I'm a sign off because it's Sunday or it's Monday night and I got work tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you guys made us through this far. Go ahead and like, subscribe, try and build notifications. You'll be here. You can catch these lives if you have your notifications on all the time. Like, I never know when you go live. Gotta turn your fucking notifications.
Smack that bell.
I tweet.
Ding ding.
I tweet out. You can follow me at redacted_posts, plural.
Follow me at Mr. Jakey Poo. I tweeted it out as well and posted.
Yeah, Mr. not Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Yep.
MISTR Jakey Poo.
Oh, MIC what? Yeah, I was thinking
It was a dumb poll.
No, I liked it. I was thinking of John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt in the name of my name. I love that. Oh my God. That's something I have to of a there you go. It was like in the tone of a boyfriend gaslighting his girl. No, his name is not John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. It's like, oh my god.
That is not also his name.
It's not also his name, all right? Twitter's amazing. I'm trying to be more active on TikTok. I've had like 3 posts in the last day, and I don't ever do that, and it feels kind of weird to do it all the time. I feel like I'm like, yeah, follow me on that. I'm at RedactedCL.
I'm also at Mr. Jakey Poo on there.
Good job finding the same name, because I can't do it. I can't find it for shit else.
Nowhere is there a Mr. Jakey Poo. I've never encountered a problem with
That's
it.
a good one. I'm at RedactedCL on Instagram, but I don't use Instagram. Stay off of Facebook.
I try
to too, but it's personal.
Yep.
Okay, I know these guys. Small town friends.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been a great time. Follow us if I don't. This might not even make it to the audio platforms if I had that much problems with it. I won't put it out. I don't subject people to that.
I get it.
Sorry. Come over here and watch it on YouTube, or you can not ever hear it. Yeah, but thank y'all for stopping by. It's been great. We'll try to get some of these technical issues figured out at a later date. No. Signing off. How do we end this? I forget. It's been so fucking long.
I don't know. We just kind of say like bye, and then like
I'll catch you next time. How about that?
Doodles.
See ya. I think that's exactly what it is. Catch you next time. And chat. I don't know why I ended that like I was ending a video. Because I'm supposed to end it like this. I wish I could do this.